It's Christmas! Welcome back everybody to another episode of Minecraft The Journey with me, BugmanCX. We're here in the base and this is not what I expected to find when I woke up this morning. It's snowing inside the ravine. And I don't know if this is good or bad at the moment because I really didn't expect it to be snowing in this ravine, but luckily it doesn't appear to be settling anywhere either. No snow layers are forming on any of the surfaces, but I expect that'll probably change in the future. But why is it suddenly snowing in this ravine? Well, don't forget, we're now playing Beta 1.9 pre-release, and that changed the biomes around. Just enough that we seem to now be in a snowy biome. So let's go outside and see if we can see exactly what's going on. Oh boy, look at this. Snow absolutely everywhere. Maybe it's the fact that this is a mountains biome. Does it snow in mountains biomes? I'm not really sure. I'm going to head over this way. Maybe we can encounter the border between the snow and when it turns to rain. Because you know how this works, right? When you're in cold biomes where you expect to see snow, you see snow. And then in other biomes, like this one here, you get rain. So this must be a biome border right here between this mountainy extreme hills. Is it called an extreme hills yet? I don't know. I think it's just called mountains. And over here, this spruce forest is rain. So you get this very strange effect, don't you? I wish that was a little bit less harsh, but that's how it looks. Yeah, so we're in a snowy biome. I'm just going to have to live with this. Have a look at this. We're around the back of the base now where this ice patch was starting to form. And we're developing snow layers, but the snow layers are forming on top of the water sources. As you can see, sometimes they appear and then disappear. I'm not really sure why they're doing that because I would expect them to just form and then remain in place. And I can't really explain why they're forming on these water sources either. This is very unusual. Never expected to see this in Minecraft. Now, if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you've probably noticed that my XP bar keeps changing randomly ever since I upgraded to Beta 1.9. So, what's going on there? That's pretty weird, right? Well, as we know, when the new experience bar was added in Beta 1.8, every time I kill a mob, it'll drop some XP orbs on the ground, just like these. Whenever I absorb the XP orbs, I'm absorbing experience points, which contributes to my overall XP and causes that XP bar to increase. As I gain more and more XP orbs, eventually that bar will fill up and I'll gain one level. Then the bar resets, and each time it does, it gets progressively harder and harder to gain XP and level up each time. But as of Beta 1.9, I can still collect XP this way, but why does my XP bar keep randomly changing just like that? Well, it just so happens that when Jeb was developing this code in Beta 1.9 pre-release and only in this version, he left in some debug code, which means that every time my player jumps, it gains XP. So if I run around the base a bit and jump like this, you'll see that my XP bar keeps increasing. And it's not increasing by small amounts either. That's a lot of XP each time. I'm not sure exactly how much, so I've rigged up this little system to help me figure it out. If I just put this overlay up on screen, you can see how much XP I currently have. Right now, my current experience level is 651, my XP level is 111, and my total XP that I've earned ever since it was introduced is 62,811. Now, if I just move around and jump up and down a little bit, you'll see that those numbers are increasing because those are coming straight out of the level.dat file. I'm reading those numbers straight out of that file and then putting them up on screen for everyone to see. So using this, we should be able to see just how much experience I'm gaining as I run around this level in this episode. I'm going to leave that up there for the entirety of the episode and see what it looks like maybe by the end of it. But before we do that, I want to head upstairs and kind of reset things. Now there's our void hole down there, and if I hurl myself off this cliff and into the void hole, we should see, as I die, my experience, my levels, everything resets. Let's have a look and see what happens when I respawn. Experience 0, 0, 0. Okay, so what's that telling me? Well, that's telling me that the XP field must be my current XP in the XP bar. The XP level is the number of times that I've filled up the bar. That's my number of levels. And XP total must be the total number of XP that I've gained since my last death, not since the beginning of time, which I first thought it was. So now we have a clean slate. Let's see what happens as we jump around and move around. There we go, we're already gaining experience. So I'm just going to keep that up there while I do other things. I've been doing some improvement works around the base, so I'm just going to continue doing a bit of that work, and we'll see how these numbers change throughout the course of the episode. But just looking at that closely, I did realize that the jumping method seems to be extremely generous. Let's just have a quick look at this. One jump, and that moves me from level 5 to level 6, and if I just do this a few times like this, I'm going to be increasing XP levels at a rapid pace. These are entire levels, which means that I must be gaining hundreds of XP at a time. I'm not sure exactly how many XP you need in order to fill up the XP bar. Maybe I should do a couple of experiments. Okay, well, I've just reset my XP levels again. Yep. Reset my XP levels. And I'm just going to kill one skeleton here, so bye-bye, skeleton. And we have 3 XP orbs coming towards me. What's that given me? 4 XP in total. Just 4 from those 3 XP orbs. Let's do this again. We've got now 3 more orbs over here. So if I move towards these, my XP increased by 1 more, and then a couple more points like that. Very, very slow. And I've just filled up the XP bar and got level 1. So if I do this a little bit more and get some more XP orbs, maybe this huge conga line of spiders can help me out, because these things give quite a bit more XP and it should help me increase my score quite rapidly. But as you can see, just killing mobs like this is a slow way of gaining XP. It's a slow way of filling up the XP bar, and I'm not really jumping through those levels very quickly at all. But let's see, where are we at? So we're at XP level 2. Let's get it up to level 3. And then I'm going to do a little experiment. One more spider ought to do it, I hope. Let's see how we go. Yes, okay, there we go. Level 3, 0 XP in the bar. And we've so far only totaled 60 XP orbs since our last death. Let's do one jump and see what happens. Jump! Okay, that gave us a total of, let's do a little bit of quick calculations here. Carry the 1. That gives us a total of 83 experience. Wow, nothing like doing a bit of maths on the fly there. So I wonder if there's a way to make an XP farm. Oh, I've run out of sword. I wonder if there's a way to make an XP farm out of jumping. Now, one of the biggest things about an XP farm which involves jumping is that every time we jump, we're going to be losing hunger. So we need a food source. And I do have a pig farm here, which is infinite, because these pigs in here will just spawn from this spawner, which we moved with an enderman, and they'll just continuously spawn and make their way down into that hole there. Let's see if we can get a closer look at that. Into that hole there, which has lava inside of it. And as they fall down, as they fall down, they will turn into pork chops, and then I can pick them up from this section here. So theoretically, if I just stand under this pole and jump, yes, as I jump, I can gain XP. And if I just stand here and face this space here, as soon as I have some pork chops in my hand, I should be able to do a few things. One, hold right click, and that means that as soon as I have pork chops, I should start eating them. So come on, pigs. Come on, pigs. The second thing I can do is jump like this, and unfortunately in beta 1.9, I want to say it's 1.9, they've taken away a feature where you can hold down the spacebar and just jump continuously. So I need to continuously press the spacebar like this, and that will cause me to jump rapidly like this. But as you can see, it's going to take down my hunger, and then I think I'll eventually die from starvation. Right now, this doesn't seem to be very efficient at all, because we haven't got any pork chops coming through. Do we have a better source of food? I'm not sure that we do. Oh, hello, pig. Well, this isn't good. I appear to be starving, and I don't have any food. I'm kind of unprepared for this. And there are loads of pigs, but why haven't you turned into pork chops? We've got some rotten flesh here. That'll do. Let's see if we can save ourselves. Can we save ourselves? Just. Okay, I'm not going to recover hearts from that because it's not enough food, but hopefully we've got some pork chops down here that will do the job now. Yes, this is looking better. Okay, well, let's try this again now that I have some pork chops and see if it's sustainable, but I still don't think that it will be. So jumping is what we need to do, like this, jumping, and holding down right click, continuously pressing the spacebar like this, and as soon as I get hungry again, I should just consume the next pork chop. You'll see that my hearts are now starting to go back up because I've fully replenished my saturation. And let's see what happens. Am I going to run out of hunger again? I guess because I just ate a pork chop, my saturation was quite high, which is one of the advantages of using the pork chop. But, oh, and a pig's just moved me, so that's another thing to keep aware of. Maybe I need to put some barriers down, but I think this is not too bad. Look how rapidly I am gaining levels though. Level 59, level 60. All I need to do is just do this for 5 minutes, and I've got so many levels and nothing to spend them on. Yeah. This also means that I can't die in between now and when the features get added where we can spend our levels on things, and I just don't think that's going to happen. So is this a practical farm? Not really. It's snowing again. I've been doing a bit of work around the base here, and as you can see, I now have 157 levels. That's just from jumping. Have a look over here. I've now made a storage hall. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time, so I just dug out this whole area here and built up this room. Now, I absolutely love this color combination with the leaves and the wood and the stone colors like this, the gray, the green, and the brown. I think it just looks really good. So I've been happy to use that here, and I've also used it out here to create some walls. Now, while we've been around here, I want to talk about a couple of bugs because, well, we are in a beta version of the game and it's not without its bugs, and they've been annoying. Let me just show you what's been going on. I've had a few reliability issues with my piston elevator, and I certainly didn't expect this design to last forever, but we're only in beta 1.9, so I really hope that it's going to remain reliable for the foreseeable future. What tends to happen is every now and then when I load myself in here and then send myself up, I think it's just if I haven't aligned myself correctly, I sometimes end up in this glass or inside of a piston, and I have to dig my way out, and that's a bit of a problem. But I've also found that this piston elevator doesn't work in multiplayer, which can be really inconvenient for me from time to time because I do use multiplayer to record certain shots from certain angles sometimes, so not being able to get up and down in multiplayer is a real problem. So I've installed an old school backup solution. We've got our up with a ladder and our down with a water drop chute. And if I drop down here, it's a very quick descent down to this area of the base. And I've had to make this a 2 deep drop because I found that with just 1 deep, you die. So that's not very helpful. And on this side, we have a ladder going all the way back up to the surface. So a nice little alternative backup solution, just in case. Bit of a frustrating one where sometimes I'll just be wandering around the world and I'll move from one area to another, unloading some chunks and loading up new chunks, when suddenly, the game just crashes. Nothing's wrong with these chunks, something's just causing the game to crash. Sometimes you get a bit of chunk weirdness in this game. I'm really not exactly sure what happened here, but one day I discovered this giant mountain slice just out here in the wilderness. This is the forest right behind the ravine, which is just through there. As you can see, all the trees have been moved around from Enderman, so we're right nearby the base. This is an area where I've been through before, and as you can see, it's cut right into this tree. So I'm not sure what happened here, unless this was a chunk that somehow got reset, maybe sort of, because this side looks a bit more normal, I suppose. But this isn't the weirdest. Wait. No, I thought it was that mountain over there. It is! Look at this. We've got this little zigzaggy bit going down here, and then on this one, there's the zigzaggy bit going there. We've got this extruded bit here, and over here, exactly the same. This chunk has copied itself from here to over here. Now, this explains exactly what I saw down in the ravine. Let's go and have a look. Oh. This is where things are getting even weirder. 5 minutes ago, I came over here and I opened up this section here so that I could add a little viewing window so that we could see the spawner from further back, but still allow it to spawn spiders, you know. So I came through here, I dug out about this many blocks. Let's just repeat the experiment because I still think, yeah, I've still got some of these in my inventory from when I did it. And I lay them down like this. Let's just pretend that that one is also a slab just for now so that you can see the spawner. And if you head over this side, you can see what's going on. I wanted to make that a little bit more visual, so I was playing around with that. But that's not weird. What's weird is that while I was working down this end and just making some adjustments and tidying up, I looked at this section down here and I thought, that's weird. Why is there sandstone? Why would there be sandstone in the ravine? So I went down and I had a little bit of a closer look and I thought, you know what? Where did this wall come from? I don't remember building a wall. Did I do this in my sleep? And I thought to myself, when did I build a giant wall over here? And I thought, I didn't build a wall. So I went around somewhere here, maybe around the side here. And I thought, what is this? So I had a little bit of a look and inside we had this little area. And then around the back, we had this. This is part of the spider elevator system from the spawner over there. And it's really, really bizarre because this is in the wrong place. And if you go up here, it doesn't go anywhere. It just stops abruptly up here. And so seeing that chunk upstairs and understanding that it's been copied explains what's going on here. Because if I break into this wall here and pop inside, you will see that inside here we have an exact copy of the spider farm, except you'll notice the spawner doesn't work. It's just a block. It doesn't contain any of the spawner metadata. And I don't know how this happened, but I'm thankful it happened over here, somewhere far, far away from anything we've built and hasn't overwritten anything like that. So this is just a real mystery. But back to the other spawner for a moment, because I'm seeing even more weirdness there. So let's just keep our eye on this little gap, shall we? Because I have replaced this now twice, I think. I've even come through and I did a little bit of texturizing of some of the blocks up here just to make the surface a little bit more interesting. But these changes that I've been making keep getting reset. And I don't know why. I thought I was going mad because I had to redo this so many times. But let me just work around this area for a little bit longer. I'll make some more blocks for decoration and so on and keep working and we'll see what happens to that area. Wait a minute. Look at that. My wall has just reset itself again. Ah! Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. I'm just going to dig out a few blocks like this and then I'm just going to continuously reload the game and see if I can trigger this thing to happen again right before my eyes. Oh, this one's too weird. What? Okay, you saw it there. I reloaded the game just twice and this chunk went back to a previous version? How can it be possible that it can save the chunks, then load the game up again and still have the hole there, but then on the second load not have the hole? I'm just going to leave these chunks right alone. Possibly one of the most crippling bugs happens when I load the game up sometimes, but not always. There you go. Look at that. As you can see, the world around me is basically a slideshow right now. I can barely move my camera, and if I press up F3, you can see exactly what's going on, I hope. You can see the white lines indicating that the CPU is taking a very long time to process every tick, hence the slideshow. And up in the top left corner, you can also see the current entity count. E129 means there are 449 entities in front of me, and 7,618 entities around me in the currently loaded chunks. So for whatever reason, the game has loaded in 7,618 entities, mostly hostile. Now, if I leave the area, the game will naturally despawn these hostile mobs because of their distance from the player, but that takes too long with this frame rate. So the only way I've found to deal with this issue is to go out to the main menu and change the game's difficulty settings from hard to peaceful, and that'll cause the game to get rid of all hostile mobs and restore the game back to normal again. With this many bugs in the game, who ever said that playing early Minecraft wasn't going to be without a challenge, right? And that's why I always take automatic backups of my world every 15 minutes, just in case of catastrophic disaster. And if you're playing early versions of Minecraft, I would suggest you do the same. Before I go today, there are a couple of things we need to wrap up, and the first involves this little fella here. A couple of episodes ago, I asked for some name suggestions, and you all came through with some amazing suggestions, but there was one which stood out to me, which seemed so obvious, and that is thanks to Dimaslaw and Silver Diamond. This little thing's going to be named Rocky. Of course it's going to be named Rocky. It lives inside of a rock. I better make sure that I put back a rock that it can go back into, just in case we don't want that thing to despawn, do we? We also need to check how many levels I've got by the end of today's episode, and it looks like I've got 173 levels. And if you know what we can spend these on in the future, then you know that that is a lot of levels. So hopefully I can stay alive and not die whenever the functionality gets added for when we can spend these levels, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. But for now, that's the end of today's episode, so I want to say thank you to you all for watching. If you would like to support me, there are ways to do that down beneath the video below in the description. And I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons who support me directly. You are all wonderful. Thank you very much. I'll see you all in the next episode, so until then, this has been BugmanCX. You've been watching Minecraft: The Journey. Bye-bye.